You better put that down.
Leave that to me.
Before I put you down, mate! I'm no one's punch bag now! What have you got to say for yourself? What? Tell it to the police.
Once Dr. Wheeler's done, we'll get him back to the dry cell for now.
Yeah.
All yours, gents.
You smell like a distillery.
You got everything?
Yes, I've got the forensic samples and a blood sample to check for alcohol levels. I recorded some bruising on his body consistent with...
She was into it.
with someone trying to fight him
Couldn't
off.
get enough of me.
Cheers, Doc.
Right, let's go.
to control him at the scene in Cranbourne Gardens. I need an ambulance here immediately. You're Heston Carter?
Dr. Heston Carter, yes. I apprehended this man. He was ransacking my house and I defended myself.
You used the cricket bat, sir?
Yeah, I caught him in the act. I asked him to leave and he refused.
Was he armed?
Yes.
What with?
Well, I'm telling you, he was.
Don't worry, sir, I'm sure I'll find it somewhere.
Here it is.
Sir, please put it down.
I wager it has his fingerprints on it.
He's wearing gloves.
Well, come and see the damage he's done to the house.
Calm yourself down. I'm moving you to a new cell.
I've got a complaint.
Oh, yeah?
That doctor, he's gone home.
Yeah, why?
He was drunk.
The only one drunk was you.
And had a couple of beers, that's all. Check the blood samples. My brief here, yeah?
He's been held up. You like to think that you've got a bit of power over people, don't you? Is that what you were thinking when you raped that poor girl?
Just let me know when my brief gets here, yeah?
So you hit him with the bat in here,
Yes, I was defending myself.
and then he carried on out into the street?
Yes.
Did he threaten you?
He broke in and he had a screwdriver.
Sir, I need to be clear about this. Did he actually directly threaten you?
I felt in danger. He's a criminal, and I have the right to protect my property. I'm a GP, I'll have a look.
Paramedics more than qualified. Really not a good idea, sir.
I was minding my own business, getting ready for bed, and he broke in. You believe that, don't you?
What I believe isn't important, sir.
You don't believe him, do you?
What I believe doesn't matter. It's a rape case. And if this gets to court and the blood samples and the evidence from the scratches aren't squeaky clean, then the defence will rip it to shreds, as you well know. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, well, I'm not happy doing something that'll destroy the reputation of a colleague in court.
And what about the girl who's been raped? Doesn't she matter?
Yeah, of course she does. Look, if there's any discrepancy between the two samples, the defence will destroy them both, won't they?
Yeah, and if his barrister starts to get a bit tricky about the evidence and your samples are identical to Wheeler's, it backs up the evidence and saves his reputation. Oh, come on, Jimmy, this is about the justice of a young woman. Oh, what is this, eh? All doctors together and to hell with the victim.
Oh, come on, that's not fair. We don't know that Dr. Wheeler was drinking. I need to speak to him. And there's...
And there's what? Is there something you're not telling me?
How's the thief?
We'll know for sure later.
That could have been me, you know. Shouldn't you arrest him? I've all but done your job for you.
We usually wait till they're conscious, sir. If it's appropriate, then they'll be placed under arrest.
If it's appropriate, shouldn't you go with him in case he tries to escape?
You won't try to escape, sir. You've made sure of that.
Well, what's that supposed to mean? I'm not the criminal here.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of assault. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned, something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
You're arresting me? Me?
Yes, sir.
I mean, this is outrageous. You should be thanking me for catching a dangerous criminal, not arresting me. I am the victim here, not that...
Unconscious man on his way to hospital.
Well, I refuse. I mean, do you know who I am?
Sir, get in the back of the car.
Well, can I at least get some clothes?
No, sir, we'll leave what you're wearing as evidence.
Well, I'm going to speak to your superior.
Look, 2 weeks ago, this PC came to speak to me. This bloke had been arrested, drunk driving. Wheeler took the bloods. The bloke accused Wheeler of being drunk.
Well, that makes it even more important that we cover ourselves on this.
He was just trying his luck. Come on, we hear all sorts of accusations against police officers, doctors, everyone in here.
I still want you to retake his bloods and check his injuries.
It's a last resort given the risks.
And as soon as you can, because I can't keep him in a dry cell forever.
Who's to say that the drunk driver and your suspect don't know each other? Drunk driver mentions that he met a doctor who was drunk on the job. Your suspect remembers hearing this, sees an angle that'll help his case. You know? I mean, if we start taking more samples, then it'll flag up to the defence there's a problem. Let me speak to Wheeler, find out what's going on. You find out if the other two know each other.
Come on, out. You have to get out.
You took forensic samples, blood samples, and recorded some injuries with a suspect, Kyle West. Yes, accused of rape. How did that go? Okay, well, they called me in because Kyle West has made an accusation against you. You were drunk. Yeah, good. I'm sure it's rubbish. I just needed to check with you before... No, that won't be necessary. Dave, there's no need for you to come in. No, Dave, just stay there.
For the benefit of the tape, can you confirm that you're waiving your right to a solicitor?
I don't need a solicitor to clear this up.
The burglar was hit by a cricket bat. Item FC1. Can you confirm this cricket bat's yours?
Yes, of course it is.
This is the bat you hit the injured man with.
Yeah, look, I am the victim here.
Do you keep it in your bedroom?
Yes.
Why? For self-defence?
It's ornamental. An Englishman's home is his castle. Doesn't that mean anything anymore?
Can you restrict yourself to answering the questions, please?
I haven't committed a crime. I woke up. There was an armed burglar ransacking my house. What am I supposed to do? Hold the door open for him so he doesn't trip up and hurt himself?
Was he in your bedroom?
No.
So you took the bat from your bedroom down to the kitchen. This was before you knew he was armed.
Yes. No,
You assaulted him in the kitchen.
I didn't assault him. Will you stop putting words into my mouth?
How many times did you strike him?
Is that important?
Yes. Once?
Yes.
You're sure it was only once?
Yes, I told you, in my kitchen. I'm not some animal. I'm trying to help you clear this up, but this arrest is outrageous. I have done nothing wrong. I am a doctor. I am a partner at the Mill Health Centre. I'm a respected member of the community, and you should just stop this nonsense right now and release me.
This way.
Yeah, can I speak with DS Cooper, please?
Come on.
Rob! Someone sensible at last. Can you have a word with this man and make him see sense?
I'll call you back. Dr. Carter's not a violent fella.
The man's unconscious. In hospital. There's holes in his story. He says he hit him once. The man's got severe head and shoulder injuries. He's lying to us.
Oh, come on, Cookie. Sometimes people's heads are spinning. They barely know what day it is, never mind what's happened. The details will come back to him soon enough.
Yeah, once he's got his story straight. What he's told me doesn't match up with what I've seen. Now, what are you asking me to do, Sarge? Drop it.
No, just use some common sense. Don't forget, someone like him will get a lot of public sympathy. He's helped a hell of a lot of people. You could come out of this looking bad.
Someone like him? He thinks he can do what he wants. He thinks he's above the law, and he's made sure I know it. He's been giving it the big, don't you know who I am?
All right, well, Heston can be a bit full of himself, but there's no harm in him. He's a decent bloke.
He almost murdered that man. Now he thinks he can lord it and lie to us. I'm not having it, Sarge.
I'm appalled that you're giving the time of day to these lies.
Dave, I'm giving you a heads up, and honestly, I can smell the alcohol on you from here.
I had half a glass when I got home, when I was off the rotor.
You couldn't have been home for 5 minutes. Did you drive in?
Yes. One, I'm not over the limit. Two, I was on my way to bed when you called me.
So, are you going to take a breathalyzer test?
Look, just take a step back, okay? I didn't ask him to come in, but I did inform him of the situation. Now, if it was me, I'd want to come in as soon as I could to clear it up. This is a serious allegation, but maybe this is our fault.
Because if you have been drinking, it could lead to a rapist walking free.
Okay, Rob, could I have some time with Dr. Wheeler, please?
Yeah.
Rob, thank goodness. How this all happened is beyond me. I was getting ready for bed. How can I be treated like a criminal when it was a criminal who broke into my home?
Shh, sit down. I don't have long. Do you want some advice?
Absolutely any advice gratefully received.
There's nothing wrong with defending yourself, and most of the coppers in this station will be on your side, and the law will back up homeowners who use reasonable force to defend their property. But I think you got a bit unlucky getting PC Cook. He's not a city boy, he's not streetwise, and he has this thing about people not being respectful towards the police.
When have I ever been anything but respectful to the police?
Right, and well, I think he thinks that you haven't told him the whole truth.
Well, I fear that,
You fear what, Heston?
I fear I may have told a bit of a fib.
About hitting the thief once. It's okay, Cook told me. Did you hit him more than once?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I could see he was suspicious. He was trying to pick apart my story. Well, it's not a story. It's the truth. I wasn't thinking straight. I really am in the most dreadful trouble, aren't I?
Right, listen. You did not hear this from me, and you definitely don't tell Cook that I told you this, but you need to get a lawyer.
But I'm innocent. I don't need...
It doesn't matter, Heston. You've told a lie. That makes you look guilty.
Thank you.
Oh, and Jimmy's here. Do you want me to send him down?
No, I don't want anyone from the mill knowing I'm here. Not Jimmy, not Julia, not Karen. I don't want them to know I'm involved.
You need to think about how you can make this go away before it becomes a problem.
I agree.
If the defense finds out about the accusation, and it's unimaginable that they won't, or if they learn that you came in here... Look, what I'm saying is if I was the defense, I'd be asking why you didn't take a breathalyzer test and provide a sample to prove the allegation is false.
What? Because the suspect makes a ridiculous allegation. If I went round leaving blood samples every time I'm in here, I'd be like a pincushion.
This is different.
How so?
You have a reputation.
Are you saying that my work has ever been anything less than professional?
No.
Are you saying that the samples I've collected are less than watertight?
No. But can you guarantee that they are? If you have a problem...
I do not have a problem.
If If you have a problem, maybe this is the first time it's affected your work.
This guy is lying. He's heard someone say something about me drinking, and he can see that he can use it to discredit the case against him. And, yes, I like a drink now and then. You don't?
Sure, yeah. But I don't have a reputation, and I don't have two different suspects accusing me of drinking on the job.
You know that we can get called out any moment. We're supposed to live like monks, just in case. It's never more than 1 or 2.
Just take a test.
I already told you I had half a glass.
Then if the suspect's lying, it'll give you something to fight back with.
Is this all it takes? For criminals to damage a doctor's professional reputation.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Hello?
I need to have a word with PC Cook.
"43." Maybe it was more than half a glass. These things, they're not always accurate, and I'd brush my teeth, use mouthwash, that can distort.
Oh, all this in the 5 minutes you were home. You were way over the limit. Look, I don't know if you've got a drink problem or not, only you do, but you're lying to yourself as well as to me. This is affecting your work. Right, I think Dr. Wheeler should remove himself from the case. Ill health. I will take over all his police surgeon duties.
Look, hang on. I haven't agreed to any of this.
Do you want to tell him more about the case?
The girl went to a party. She was only 18. Met Wes. They started to flirt. She wanted to go. He wouldn't let her. He tried to resist. Then he turned violent. And he... Well, how much do you want to know?
You could be all his QC needs to destroy this case. Do you want that on your conscience?
Yep. Great. Okay. I'm on my way.
Gentlemen, I think we can be reasonable and resolve this now. What I said earlier wasn't entirely truthful.
So you lied?
No, I got caught up in all the excitement.
You thought it was exciting?
No, my mind was a bit of a blur. I think my memory is much sharper and clearer now, and I think I must have hit him more than once.
The man's unconscious. Tell us something we don't know.
Well, I felt in danger. He threatened me with a screwdriver. I was terrified. I was burgled a few weeks ago, and you gentlemen weren't very... And I thought, I'm going to have to deal with this on my own again. And it could even have been the same chap.
You admit you hit him repeatedly with a cricket bat?
Yes, I must have done.
How many times?
Well, I don't know for sure.
You think that one might come back to you?
Is he conscious?
No. No, he's got some nasty head injuries and severe injuries to the shoulder. You're the doctor. What's the worst case scenario?
Well, a severe injury to the head can be fatal, but I didn't hit him on the head.
A minute ago you were saying it was all a blur. Now you seem very sure of what happened. Are you 100% certain, sir?
I think I need a lawyer.
Well, right now I think there's something in these accusations of Wheeler. We need to deal with it.
Sarge, what's this about Lewis Jones?
Yeah. You did him for drink driving?
Yeah, weeks ago.
He made an accusation against Dr. Wheeler that he was drunk when he took the samples. It didn't go anywhere, nothing came of it, but Carl West has just made the same accusation.
It might mess up the forensics.
I know what it means, Sarge.
You know, what we could do with now is Jones and West knowing each other. Otherwise, we've got a problem.
They do. They had a failed business venture together a couple of years ago. That's when I first came across Kyle West.
That's great. It's a stitch-up.
You had me worried for a minute.
Brilliant. All right, Jimmy, we'll go with the Wheeler samples.
Well, I still think there's a problem I need to take over.
Not anymore, there isn't. Like you said, it'll just draw attention to the forensics. Now we'll go with Wheeler's.
You called me in the first place to take the samples again.
That was them.
If Dr. Wheeler's happy, I'm happy. If you've got some evidence other than the word of two lowlifes that he's been drinking on the job that's different.
You don't give a man much time to think, do you? Tell me, how's the girl bearing up?
She's brave, but she's in pieces. It's not easy for her, and she knows how many blokes get away with this sort of thing. If the case falls apart and he gets out, well...
She doesn't know what's in store, does she? Identification, trial, everything.
Probably not. But we'll do our best to get her ready for it.
But we really need to be sound, right? If we're not, we're letting her down.
Yeah, well, we've managed to establish that these two clowns know each other. So if they do push the accusations, we can argue that they've cooked this story up together.
And the next time?
The next time?
And the next time I come in drunk, what if? I really need a drink now. I work unbelievable hours, what with the practice and this. I guess I use the drink as a crutch to get through. You know, I see some really sad cases here. They've all got a story, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Not just the victim. Victims are hard enough, but sometimes the criminals, too. They wreck their own lives, and they know it. They see me and they think I'm the first person who's on their side. I get home and need to drown out their voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I need to resign as a police surgeon. I think I need to take some time out of the practice too. Can you contact them?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. I'll tell them you have some personal issues that need some time. They haven't affected your work yet, but if they're not taken care of, they will. Okay?
Thank you.
Pick up the car in the morning.
This is the right thing, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, there's plenty of help out there. Counselling, AA.
I know all that.
I'll call you tomorrow. I need to know that you've heard all your options. I'll kickstart everything. You just need to turn up.
You didn't have a drink, did you, before we called you in?
No. I better go and deal with Carl West.
As agreed, we're going to take some more forensic samples off you, and you can see your brief.
Oh, if you could just take that off. I'm entitled to some privacy. It'll be okay.
I will be just outside the door.
Missing you already. I've seen you before.
No?
Last time. I was in for GBH, that wasn't you.
Right, I'm just going to take some samples. Do you know someone called Lewis Jones? I had this bloke in here a couple of weeks ago. He's accusing Dr. Wheeler of the same thing. What a coincidence, eh? Nothing to say. Good.
All good?
Yep.
Great. That was close. Better luck next time. Are you going to tell your brief or should I do it? Oh, let it be me.
Heston, what's going on?
Just give me a minute. Any developments?
Yes, Sarge.
Dear Mr. Carver, I'm getting in touch regarding Dr. David Wheeler. Dr. Wheeler sought my help with some personal health issues which require immediate treatment. I'll be in touch tomorrow to further discuss the matter, but it's my professional opinion that he is acting responsibly and that it is in his interests and in the interest of your practice if he takes immediate compassionate leave to begin treatment. Regards, Dr. Jimmy Clay.
Stupid! Stupid! Stupid!
How are you?
Oh, well, you know, the acoustics are rather fine. I can practice my favourite arias.
Can I get you anything?
Yeah, a big fruit cake with a fowl baked inside. That would be nice.
Come on, stop it. Rob has explained what's happened. We're going to fight this.
The duty solicitor has put things on hold. They're going to look to bail you in the morning.
I am disgusted that I have to spend a night in the cells, and I dread to think what would have happened if I hadn't defended myself.
Yeah, well, you're the innocent one, the victim. Don't you forget that.
I know that, and thank you for saying so. Any news from the hospital?
Yeah, his name's Curtis Brown. He's just got out of theatre. His injuries are worse than they expected.
What could happen with this?
Cooks says that they're talking about a charge of attempted murder.
It might not come to that.
It could.
Murder?
Well, I'm sure he'll be fine.
You don't know that. Even if it's fine, it could be jail, my career finished. How could this happen?
1, 2, 3!
Can you hear this, Dad?
No, Dane, he can't!
It's a wonderful way.
Because he's dead!
Trudy, we were trying to talk.
No!
I was just wondering if you'd had any more thoughts about our little, soiree.
It was an accident!
Easy accident. Sure you were. Why don't you meet me, eh?
Hey, no!